Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a very exciting episode of CSGO News. A lot of drama and news to talk about all around one event that's actually going to be ESL Belo Horizonte. I probably mispronounced that out of this world. It comes up in June here, and we will have several teams there that are going to be really cool to see to play out. So first off, of course, talking about the event, I do want to talk about the teams that are going to make it there. It'll be an 8-team, $200,000 prize pool event with a lot of news circulated around which teams have actually been invited and which teams are currently trying to qualify for the event itself. So first off, it will be FaZe, Liquid, Mouse Sports, and SK Gaming all invited to the event. Of course, SK deserves that title, them being the Brazilian team, and I think overall great invites. Definitely 4 teams, probably close to the top 5. Maybe Liquid give or take a few spots there, but certainly at least 3 of the top 5 teams in the world invited. Have no complaints about that. But more news about who's going to actually try and qualify. We do have our 2 European qualifiers selected right now. Team Big being one of them. That lineup being a little bit controversial for the future, whether Smoothie is going to join or not. And on top of that, also Space Soldiers. And very lastly, right now, of the teams who have qualified, we have 1 spot for North America. That'll go to Team Torqued, and 1 spot for South America. So there's going to be another Brazilian team going to this event. As of right now, that qualifier is still going on. We don't know who that's going to be. I'll touch on that in a second though, but I do want to quickly talk about Torqued is going to be going to Brazil. And of course, the title of the video is why do people fear CSGO and why people in CSGO fear Brazil so much. I do want to touch on though, over the past few weeks, we've had Steel in Team Torqued. He has led this team to glory these past few weeks in North America. Their road to qualify for this event was actually a tremendous road. They not only beat Team NRG, one of the best North American teams in ESL Pro League, if not of in general North American teams in the past few weeks here. They've been on tremendous runs in both ECS and also ESL, and Torqued took them down in a best of 3. They also beat Team Rogue 2-0. They swept them. Even more importantly though, Team Torqued actually swept Complexity in a best of 5. They beat them 3-0. And so it goes to show you how much that team has really turned around. I know if you guys watched them back in the day when we had Daze on that roster, of course that being Swag, AZK, Steel, Kusta, and then Daze, he was then replaced by Steel. Really ironic situation. If you watch them early Mountain Dew League, they were very much struggling. They have actually climbed out of that hole as well over there in Mountain Dew League playoffs. But even then, to see him turn around this team and actually qualify, they're going to be going to DreamHack Austin qualifiers, ESL Belo Horizonte, other qualifiers very, very soon here in the summer. This team has turned around and has now become, arguably, they could be a top 5 North American team very shortly here. But also, I do want to touch on the last South American qualifier for this event. Well, it could be us, of course, it's going to be a Brazilian team, but it could be one of 2 options. The first of which is Luminosity Gaming. The second of which, it could be Now Temcomo. Now Temcomo, it's actually speculated right now they're going to try and finish their roster with a couple of LG members. So if we go over to the qualifier, I'll show you guys the qualifier for that last spot going to ESL Belo Horizonte. It's either going to be LG or Now Temcomo. Those are your 2 best teams there by far. But before that tournament qualifier actually happens, we could have Now Temcomo finalizing their roster. And again, NTC, Now Temcomo, that's your future SK Gaming organization roster as speculated back in the day. Currently, we do have FNX, Bit, Phelps, and of course kNg, the newest addition. And the newest member could be Cello from LG, and also LG's coach, Apoka. Apoka known for his legendary skill back in the day in CSGO. So it could be them not really poaching, but taking away LG players right in time for this qualifier to take that last spot at ESL Belo Horizonte. So that's all news around that, guys. Now Temcomo's newest roster, Torqued in their latest success. It's going to be a great tournament, guys, for ESL Belo Horizonte. I cannot wait to watch that. A lot of great teams going, but also bouncing off that, we do have current rumors around the Now Temcomo roster. Not even rumors or allegations. It's actually just, of course, some of them are allegations, but actually currently a few days ago, we did have both FNX and of course kNg, the 2 most, I guess you could say, iconic toxic members on that team right now. They've both been kicked, or not permanently, but partially have actually had their Q access removed from FPL. So in other words, right now they're pretty much kicked from FPL. Apparently due to Face It, Mikey and admin over there, they've actually had repeated allegations, repeated reports by other players out there of no improvement in their communication. In other words, they've been toxic again and again, week by week, and eventually he actually goes on to state no one else on the team has any issues. Phelps and Bit have been great members, actually had great reports on them, but FNX and of course kNg have both had several reports in the last few weeks that have actually gotten them kicked from FPL for the time being. Now kNg also stated on his Twitter though, guys, he said that Face It is lying. They've been changing their story back and forth. We'll never know the truth. Of course, we're going to lean towards the fact that they have been toxic. Of course, Face It saying there's been several reports on the case. So yeah, you have your new Now Temcomo roster, guys, but the 2 most legendary members on that team in terms of experience and of course their past history, it seems they have yet to have any improvement in terms of their toxicity. And I'm not really sure there's any way for either side here to actually pitch their cause and actually show evidence of them not being toxic, and it may be easier for Faceit to post some other reports out there and maybe have Faceit come out and say which players reported these guys, because I'm assuming most of the reports that have been done on these guys are for legitimate reasons. You can assume that if they're pro players at a professional level, they're going to report people that are actually being toxic and not just for the lulz and the jokes. On top of that though, FPL this week facing a bit of controversy, and the people that have actually been kicking out of their system. I myself, guys, from an outside perspective, it seems like they're still doing an amazing job. I think other pro players agree with this. They've actually moved 2 other members out there this week, one being Pronax. Although he does say he was inactive, he gave them excuses as to why he was inactive. They did not actually put up those excuses. They kicked him anyway. And then also we had Hooch, of course, a former Gamut member now in some lower tier CS. He actually tweeted out on behalf of World Edit. Apparently, World Edit member of Flipside was actually kicked from FPL as well for not being good enough. So kind of crazy to see FPL kicking some very, very good talent, as they do still invite some other teams out there. I think this last week they also invited Team Fragsters, a rising team out on the rise right now, doing very well in past events like BetsNet, other tournaments out there. And of course, they've also added NATO Sapphics, one of the newest members for Team Sprout. So again, FPL doing an amazing job in my own opinion. I'm not really sure how the pros feel about that. They're kicking players, they're adding players, they're trying to figure out, what players are best for their system, and I'm sure in the end they will figure it out, guys. On top of that though, of course, the main title of the episode is this continuous hate towards Brazilian fans out there, why people are actually scared to go to Brazil. Of course, the most iconic situation example to use out there is of course Hiko back in 2016, a part of Team Liquid. He actually him and his family both faced death threats before they actually showed up to the event itself. So I'll play that clip for all of you guys very shortly right now.
Found my mom and my sister's Facebook, and they were literally spamming them like that same week before I was going to go of, if you come to Brazil, we're going to kill you. We hate you. Brazil hates you. Don't even bother coming. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to risk my life, whether the risk is there or not. Like, I personally am not going to risk my life to go play a tournament in Brazil.
And on top of that, we've also had Richard Lewis talk about this back in 2016. He called them the most, I guess you could say, toxic fans, or most, and then I guess the non-friendly fans out there. I'm sure if you guys voted back in 2017 or 2018, they would still probably reign supreme in that category. And of course, we have Thorn. I think he actually is one of the few people out there who probably enjoys receiving threats from these fan bases. We have a lot of commentators out there who agree that we've had some very toxic Brazilian fans, or at least toxic Brazilian moments. We go back to FNS and the kNg, prove it or I'll kill you situation, and that's overall why people really do fear Brazil. But I do want to pitch this other 2 sides of this story. The first of which, they are loyal supporters. Every fan base out there, especially the most loyal ones, are going to have haters, toxic fans, but they also show you how loyal they are, because they're going to go to the extreme to cheer on for their team. On top of that though, there are certainly other fan bases out there, other countries who have equally toxic people out there. We also had Taco take out a clip here, and he actually talked about how apparently a Cloud9 fan was saying the racial slur towards him of monkey. And again, we've seen this countless times. I know you guys, they're commenting right now, monkey's not a racial slur. Yes, in my opinion it is. And we've had this come up a lot in the past few months, and this is me actually defending the Brazilian fans out there. Yes, I do agree, Brazilian fans can be toxic, but they're also very diehard loyal, and so they maybe take it a bit too far. But there are certainly other countries out there with equally toxic fans who take things also too far. So it goes both ways, guys. Anyway, are people scared of Brazil? I still think they are. There's other dangers out there of going to Brazil. Luckily though, people like Hiko don't have to worry about that, because Team Rogue, they got beat out by Torque, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, that was a crazy news revolving all around ESL Belo Horizonte. I'm excited for the event, guys. What do you think about that news? But even crazier, and I guess lastly for today's episode of CSGO News, I want to thank you guys for all leaving comments down below. Please do me a favor, leave a comment right now. I can reply to you guys just like that, or at least I'll try to. No promises. Very lastly though, we did of course have the official end of Bully Hunters and their movement. I do want to firstly clarify by saying the Bully Hunters organization, the movement, the cause of going against bullying of females and the discrimination they face in the esports scene, the CSGO scene, it's a great cause. It's a great idea. I think overall the best way to put it was poor execution. We have continuous lies coming out about this. Apparently SteelSeries, their lead sponsor, was lied to as well. We have many of the Bully Hunters themselves, official female Bully Hunters, going out and saying some things, some words they shouldn't be saying, other allegations out there. And of course, we even had the largest YouTuber cover the story, which you know is definitely not a good thing, guys, especially when once he made this video, you kind of certified that there is no way this movement helped in any way. If anything, it makes it worse for the time being for any females who already face discrimination in the scene. I think it made it far worse. I'll link his video down below. You know when PewDiePie covers your video, it's probably not going to be a good thing. I know, and again, I mean that in a good way. He makes fun of just about everything he covers, and he himself even decided to chew out the Bully Hunters organization. As of right now, guys, their website's been down for over 36 hours. That was not PewDiePie's doing, that was actually you guys. They've been shut down for quite some time, even before his video was released. And as of today, guys, their Twitter has also been taken down, or is it just, yeah, it's gone. So I want to say thank you, or congratulations. I think we did a good thing by getting rid of this and putting it in the past, and I hope we can all forget about that. But you know it's going to be a living meme for at least the next few months. Hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of CSGO News. I will see you guys all tomorrow or sometime soon. The Q&A video is going to come out sometime soon as well. So thank you all for watching, guys. I will see you all tomorrow, and goodbye.